Question 1. Change 3 litres into milliliters. So we need to know that each 1 litre is 1,000 milliliters. So if 1 litre is 1,000 milliliters, 3 litres must be 3,000 milliliters. Question 2. Here is a list of numbers, and from the numbers write down a prime number. A prime number is a number that can only be divided by 1 and itself, so it can't be in any times tables apart from the 1 times table and its own times table. So which of the numbers given are prime? So all even numbers are in the 2 times table, so no even number apart from 2 is prime, and there's only one odd number here, which is 19, and 19 is in no times tables. It can't be divided by anything apart from 1 and itself, so 19 is prime. And write down a square number. So the square numbers are 1, which is 1 times 1, 4, which is 2 times 2, 9, which is 3 times 3, and so on. So 16 is 4 times 4, and 16 is on the list. So 16 is our square number. Question 3. Write down all the factors of 20. So what numbers times to make 20? So we can get 20 by doing 1 times 20. It's in the 2 times table. It's 2 times 10. It's not in the 3 times table. And it's in the 4 times table. 4 times 5. So all the factors of 20 are 1, 2, 4, 5, 10 and 20. 1, 2, 4, 5, 10, 20. Question 4. Write down the probability of scoring an odd number on an ordinary 6-sided dice. So on a 6-sided dice, we can score 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6. And how many of these are odd? So there's 1, 3 and 5. So 3 odd numbers out of 6 in total. So it's 3 out of 6, 3 sixths. We could also write 1/2, but either of those are correct. Write down the probability of scoring a 6 on an ordinary 6-sided dice. How many 6s are there? There's 1 out of how many in total? 6 options. So the probability of scoring a 6 is 1/6. Question 5. There are 3 different options for starter and 3 options for main course. List all the different combinations that can be chosen. So let's change these to letters. We'll have BSO, LPR. That just means we have to write less down. So if we have B for starter, we can either have L, we can have B for starter and P, and B for starter with R. So there are all the options. If we have B first, if we have S first, we can have S and L, S and P, and S and R. Or if we have O first, we can have O and L, O and P, and O and R. So they're all the different options. There's no option that we've left out. So that's the answer. Question 6. Simplify 3f times 4g. 3f means 3 times f. And 4g means 4 times g. We just don't write the time signs in algebra. So we can multiply the two numbers together. We can do 3 times 4, which is 12. And we've still got an f and a g, and we just write that as fg. We don't write the time signs, we just write 12 fg. Part B. Simplify 3x minus 6y plus 5x plus 1 more y. So what we can do in this case, we can add the x terms. So we've got a 3x plus a 5x, and we can add or take away the y terms. So we've got minus 6y plus 1y, or the other way around. Doesn't matter what order we do it. We can have 1y take away 6y's. So let's do the x's first. 3x's plus 5x's. That's 8x's. 3 of something plus 5 of something makes 8 of that same thing. And 1y take away 6y's. That goes to minus 5y. So we've got 8x's minus 5y's. Question 7. Write the ratio 32 to 24 in its simplest form. So we can't simplify the ratios on the calculator. We can do a fraction on the calculator, or we could just simplify it without using the calculator at all. So what times table are 32 and 24 in? They are both in the 2 times table, so we can half both of them. So half of 32 is 16. Half of 24 is 12. They're both even again, so I'm going to half again. Half of 16 is 8. Half of 12 is 6. And half one more time. Half of 8 is 4. And half of 6 is 3. So we've got 4 to 3. If we'd written in the calculator 32 over 24, that will simplify to 4/3. So then you could switch it back. The 32 part simplified to 4. The 24 part simplified to 3. So it's 4 to 3. So if you really wanted to use the calculator, you could do it that way. Part B. 1/9 of people in a class are left-handed. Write the ratio of left-handed people to right-handed people. So what fraction are right-handed? So if 1/9, 1 out of 9, are left-handed, that means 8 out of 9 must be right-handed. We can do 1 minus 1/9 in the calculator, and that gives us 8/9. So 8/9 right-handed, 1/9 left-handed. Ratio of left-handed to right-handed, so it's 1/9 to 8/9, and that can be, well, simplified to 1 to 8. So there's 8 times the number of right-handed people there are of left-handed people. 1/9 times, well, 9 is 1. 8/9 times 9 is 8. So it simplifies 1 to 8. Question 8. Here are the first 5 terms of a sequence. Find the next term of this sequence. So we're going 17 to 14, then 11, 8, 5. So it's going down in 3s every time. So to get the next number, 5 take away 3, and that's 2. Part B, The nth term of a different sequence is 10n squared plus 5. Work out the fifth term of this sequence. So to find the fifth term of a sequence, we change n, substitute 5 in for n. So if I wanted to find the 100th term, I would change n to 100. But I want to work out the fifth term, so let's change n to 5. So we're going to have 10 times 5 squared plus 5. And we can type it in the calculator like this. And we should get 255. Question 9. Amelia wants to buy 6 sausage rolls. Each sausage roll costs 84p. She pays the £10 note. How much change will she get? So 6 sausage rolls for 84p each. So 6 times 84p. 6 times 84p. That's 504p. Or in pounds, that'd be £5.04. Amelia pays the £10 note. How much change will she get? So it's £10. Take away £5.04, and we should get £4.96. When in the shop, Amelia finds out that the price of sausage rolls has increased. How does this affect the amount of change she will get? So if the sausage rolls go up in price, she has to pay more for them, she'll get less change. Question 10. Ian is going to make some cakes. He has worked out he needs 16 eggs, 675 grams of sugar, and 390 grams of flour. So the eggs come in packs of 6, and he needs 16 eggs. So 6 in 1 pack, 2 lots of 6, so 12 in 2 packs, 18 in 3 packs. So he's going to need to buy 3 packs. So he needs 3 packs of eggs at £1.45 each. And let's do sugar now. So 675 grams of sugar, and it's 500 gram bags. So he's going to need to buy 1 bag's not enough. He needs 2 bags. So 2 bags of sugar for 59p each. He needs 390 grams of flour. So 1 bag, 500 grams is enough. So 1 bag for 95p of flour. So let's work out how much these cost. 3 times £1.45 is £4.35. 2 59p's is £1.18, and 195p is 95p. So we're going to add up these now. So 95p plus £1.18 plus £4.35, and we should get £6.48. Question 11. Abby buys a sofa for £540. She pays a deposit of 15% and the rest of the money in monthly payments of £17. How many monthly payments will Abby need to pay? So the sofa costs £540 and the deposit is 15%. So we're going to take off 15% from the cost. To work out 15% of 540, so with a calculator, we can do 15% times 540, or 0.15 times 540. Either of those will find us 15. And that is £81. So she has to pay a deposit of £81. So 540, take away the deposit, is £459. So she's got £459 left to pay, and she's paying it £17 a month. So how many times does she have to pay £17? So how many monthly payments, how many £17 make £459? So 459 divide 17, and that's 27. So she needs to make 27 monthly payments of £17. So 27 times 17 makes 459, and the deposit of £81 makes the total price. Question 12. So we've got a table about the information about the favourite sport of some students. Draw a pie chart. So we know that all of the angles in the circle have to add up to 360 degrees. And well, we've been told one of them. So if 30 people like football and the angle is 150 degrees, we can work out what you times by. So what you times 30 by to get 150. So each one person is 5 degrees. So 30 times 5 makes 150, or 150 divide 30 makes 5. So 30 people are 150 degrees, so one person is 5 degrees. So we're going to times all of these by 5. So 12 times 5 is 60 degrees. 20 times 5 is 100 degrees. And 10 times 5 is 50 degrees. And we can check that these add up to 360 to make sure we've done it correctly. And they do. So we've got to draw a pie chart. Okay, so let's start by drawing a line to connect the center and the top of the circle. And we grab the protractor and we line up 0 with the line we've drawn and the center of the protractor with the center of the circle. And we're going to measure, for the first one, for football, 150 degrees. So we measure from 0 all the way round until we get to 150. And we'll make a mark on 150 degrees. Then get the ruler and connect the center of the circle with our mark. The next one is 60 degrees. So we're going to get the protractor again in the center of the circle and spin it around to line up 0 with the new line, from 0 to 60. And again, spin it around, line up 0 again. And we're measuring 100 degrees. And we can check we should have 50 degrees left. So now we just have to label it. So it's football, hockey, netball, rugby. And there's our pie chart. Question 13. The diagram represents 2 towns on a map. The diagram is drawn accurately. So we've got Littleford and Bartown. And we're told 1 centimetre on the map is 5 kilometres. Work out the real distance between Littleford and Bartown. So we're going to measure the distance between them with our ruler and then convert that using 1 centimetre as 5 kilometres. So we've got 7.5 centimetres, so 7.5 centimetres, and each 1 centimetre is 5 kilometres. So 7.5 times 5, and that gives us 37.5 kilometres. Part B, find the bearing of Bartown from Littleford. So a bearing is measured from the north line and it goes clockwise, and it's always got to be 3 figures. So if it was less than 100, say it was 82, we'd have to write 0, 8, 2. It's always 3 figures. And we want the bearing of Bartown from Littleford. So that means we're going from Littleford. It says from Littleford. So from Littleford to Bartown. And we're going to measure from north. So from north, that's 0 there. How far round do we have to go? And that's 109 degrees. So it's 109 degrees. Question 14. A circular field has a diameter of 32 meters. So a diameter is all the way across the circle, and a farmer wants to buy enough grass seed to cover the field. So we're interested in the area of the field. 1 box of grass seed is 66 meters squared. How many boxes of grass seed do we need? So we need to know the area, and the area of a circle is pi times the radius squared. We don't know the radius, we know the diameter. So the diameter is 32 meters, so the radius is half of the diameter, which is 16 meters. So the area is pi times 16 squared. So let's just type this in the calculator. And we get 256 pi meters squared. Or if I change that to a decimal, it's 804.247719 meters squared. So that's the area of the field. A box of grass seed covers 66 meters squared. How many do I need? So I'm going to take my answer, my 804. So I'm going to take the answer from the calculator and divide it by 66. So how many 66s go into that field? And that's 12.18557 and so on. I can't buy 12.185 boxes of grass seed, so I'm going to need to buy 13 boxes to cover the field. Question 15. Here is a number line and show the inequality. So draw the inequality. X is bigger or equal to -3 and less than 2. So we're going to have one circle at -3, one circle at 2, and there'll be a line in between them. And it can equal -3. So what we do is we colour that one in to show that it can equal that. So this says that it can equal -3 and it can't equal 2, but it can be anything in between them. Question 16. An artist is making orange paint by mixing red paint and yellow paint in the ratio 8:11. Use this information to draw a graph showing the relationship between the amount of red paint and yellow paint used. So in the ratio 8:11, so it's red and yellow, so it's 8:11, or if I double both of them, 16 and 22, or times by 3, 24 and 33, or times by 4, 32 and 44, and so on. So if I have 8 of red, I have 11 of yellow. If I have 16 of red, I have 22 of yellow, and so on. So I'm going to plot this on the graph. So 8 red goes with 11 yellow. (16 red with 22 yellow). (24 red, 33 yellow). And so on. So what I can do, I can join these points up. So I should have a straight line like so. And extend it as far as I can. And it should go through 32, 44, which it does. So the artist is going to use 40 milliliters of yellow. How much red should he use? So 40 milliliters of yellow. So from 40, we'll go along to the line and then down. So that's coming out at 29. So that'll be 29 milliliters. Okay, question 17. So we've got a cuboid, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. ABCD is a square with area 25 centimeters squared. So here's a square with area 25 centimeters squared. So if we've got a square with an area of 25, 5 times 5 makes 25. So the lengths of the square must be 5 centimeters each. C to G is 12 centimeters. Find the volume of the cuboid. Oh, so we didn't actually need to know these lengths. Volume of the cuboid is the area of the cross section times how far back it goes. So the area of the cross section times the length, 25 times 12. And that's 300 centimeters cubed. Question 18. A number x is rounded to 2 decimal places. The result is 1.54. Write down the error interval 4x. So we've got 1.54 to 2 decimal places. So the one above would be 1.55. The one below, 1.53. And we're looking for the halfway points in here. So halfway between 1.53 and 1.54 is 1.535. And halfway between 1.54 and 1.55 is 1.545. So what can x be? It's going to be bigger than 1.535, smaller than 1.545, and it can equal what the lower one. It can equal 1.535. So if you had 1.535, you would round it to 1.54. But if you had 1.545, you wouldn't round it to 1.54. So it can't actually equal that one. It can go anything all the way up to it, but it just can't equal it. Question 19. Andy and Bruce share some sweets in the ratio 9:4. Andy gets A, Bruce gets B. Carla and David share the same amount of sweets in the ratio 5:2. Carla gets C, David gets D. Find the ratio A to B to C to D. So Andy and Bruce, their sweets are 9:4. So that's 13 parts at the moment. And Carla and David, that's 5:2, which is 7 parts at the moment. So to put these together, we need to make these the same number. They need to be out of the same thing. They share the same amount of sweets, so they need to be out of the same thing. So if we times this one by 7 and times this one by 13, we're going to make the total number of parts the same. So we're going to do A to B. We're going to have 9. It's 9:4 at the moment. And if we times them by 7, 7 times 9 is 63. 7 times 4 is 28. And C to D, it's 5:2 at the moment. And let's times them by 13. So 13 times 5, that's 65. 13 times 2 is 26. So now they're both out of the same thing. They're both out of, what's that, 91? They're both out of 91. So we can put them together. So we can go A to B to C to D is 63 to 28 to 65 to 26. Question 20. Write 9,870,000 in standard form. So standard form has to be a number between 1 and 10. So that's going to be 9.87. And times 10, how many times? How many times do I times 9.87 by 10 to get 9,870,000? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. So it's 9.87 times 10 to the power of 6. And again, you can check this. If we type in the calculator 9.87 times 10 to the power of 6, it should give us 9,870,000. So we know we've done it correctly. For part B, work out the value of 9.2 times 10 to the power of 6 divided by 3.4 times 10 to the power of 8. Give your answer in standard form to 3 significant figures. So we can type this into the calculator. 9.2 times 10 to the power of 6, using the brackets, then divide 3.4 times 10 to the power of 8. So we just type it in the calculator. And well, to three significant figures, it gives us 0.0271. I'll write down that whole number. So for significant figures, we start counting at the first non-zero number, which is the 2. So 1, 2, 3. And we've got a 5 comes next. So we round up this 0 to a 1. So it's 0.0271. So that's the three significant figures, but it's not in standard form. To be in standard form, we need a number between 1 and 10. So this time 2.71. And then how many times? So times 10. So how many times do we have to divide by 10 this time to get 0.0271? 1, 2. So it's 2.71 times 10 to the power of minus 2. And if we check this, if you type in the calculator, 2.71 times 10 to the power of minus 2, it should give us 0.0271. Question 21. Charlie invests 5,600 for 4 years in a savings account. She gets 2% per annum compound interest. So we're going to add on 2% every year. So add on 2%, and then to the answer add on 2% again, and then to the answer add on 2% again, and then to the answer add on 2% again. So the quick way of doing it, so we've got £5,600. We're going to add on 2%. So that's going to be 100% plus 2%. So at the end of each year, we're going to have 102% of what we had previously. So that is a decimal, 1.02. So to add on 2%, we're going to multiply by 1.02. To add on 5%, we'll multiply by 1.05. So we're going to add on 2%, and we're going to do it 4 times. So it's 5,600 times 1.02 times 1.02 times 1.02 times 1.02. So it's 5,600 times 1.02 to the power of 4. And that gives us £6,061. I'm going to round to 2 decimal places because it's money. 62 pence. Question 22. In London, potatoes cost 45 pence per pound. In Dublin, potatoes cost €1.48 per kilogram. And we've got the conversion rates between kilograms to pounds and money pounds to euros. So in which city are potatoes better value for money, London or Dublin? So let's start with Dublin. And let's convert. So at the moment we've got €1.48 per kilogram. And we're going to change this into pounds per pound. So to change from kilograms to pounds, so 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds. So it's 1.48 for 2.2 pounds. So to find out what 1 pound is, we're going to divide by 2.2. So 148 divide 2.2, and well, that's 0.6727727272 euros. So 67 cents for £1. And then I'm going to change it into pounds, money pounds. So to go from pounds to euros, we times by 1.15. Euros back to pounds, divide 1.15. So I'm going to divide 1.15, divide the answer by 1.15. And that gives us, so we're in pounds now, to 2 decimal places because it's money. So I've got 0.58498 and so on. I've got 58p. The 4 comes next, so it doesn't round up. It stays at 58p. So in Dublin, we're paying 58p per kilogram. London is 45p per kilogram, so London is cheaper. Question 23. Given x to the power of 6 divide x to the power of a equals x to the power of 8, what is a? Find the value of a. So when we are dividing indices, we subtract the powers. So 6 take away a must equal 8. So 6 take away what number equals 8? It's going to have to be a negative number. So 6 take away -2 equals 8. 6 take away -2 equals 8. Part B. Simplify 2m squared to the power of 4. So we've got 2m squared times 2m squared times 2m squared times 2m squared. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is 16. And when we multiply, we add the powers. So 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 8. Question 24. A football team sell home shirts and away shirts. The ratio of home shirts to away shirts is 5:1. The home shirts can either be adults or children's shirts. The ratio of adult shirts to children's shirts is 3:2. What proportion of the total shirts sold are children's home shirts? Home shirts are 5/6 of all shirts. So 5 parts home, 1 part away. So 5 out of 6 are at home. And adults to children's is 3:2. So for children's shirts, that's 2 parts out of 5, 2/5. So we need 2/5 of 5/6, or 2/5 times 5/6. So of means times. So 2/5 times 5/6. We can type it into the calculator, and we should get 1/3. Question 25. The average house price in London in 2017 was £474,902. The average house price in London in 2018 was £469,538. Calculate the percentage change in house prices between 2017 and 2018. So percentage change we work out how much it's changed by, so the change divided by the original, and then times 100. So let's work out the change. Well, actually, let's do it in one step. So we're going to do 469,538. Take away 474,902. That's the change over the original, which was 474,902 times 100. So the change over the original times 100. And we're just going to type this in the calculator. And we get out minus 1.1. I'll do 2 decimal places. So I go minus 1.1. I've got 294,961 and so on. But to 2 decimal places, minus 1.13%. Question 26. Here is a Venn diagram. So we've got A, B, and C. List the members of A and B. A intersection B. So which numbers are in A and they're in B? So where the A and B circles overlap, that's 1, 3, and 8. So they're in A and B. 1, 3, and 8. A number is chosen at random from all of the numbers. Find the probability that it's in the union of B and C. So for the union of B and C, that means everything in the B circle and everything in the C circle counts. So how many numbers are in the union of B and C? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 numbers out of 12 in total. So it's 10 twelfths or 5/6. Question 27. 100 milliliters of liquid A and 200 milliliters of liquid B are mixed together to make liquid C. Liquid A has a density of 0.8 grams per milliliter. Liquid B has a density of 1.1 grams per milliliter. Work out the density of liquid C. So density equals mass over volume. So when we're mixing the two liquids together, we're going to have total mass divided by total volume to find density of liquid C. So do we know the mass? We don't know the mass, so we're going to work out the mass. So for A, mass is density times volume. So for A, mass equals density times volume. So 0.8 times 100, which is 80 grams. And for B, again, mass equals density times volume. So it's 1.1 times 200, which is 220 grams. So for liquid A, we've got total mass, which is 80 plus 220, over total volume, which is 100 plus 200, and that gives us 1. So 300 over 300 is 1. So the density is 1 gram per milliliter. Question 28. So shape A is a regular triangle, shape B is a regular octagon. Another regular polygon P is shown on the diagram. How many sides does polygon P have you must show your working. So when we've got our polygons, our regular polygons, or our polygons, to work out an exterior angle, we can do 360 divided by the number of sides. So for the octagon, 360 divided by 8, which is 45 degrees. So the exterior angle will be 45 degrees for the octagon, and the interior angle, so interior angle plus exterior angle, have to add up to 180. So 180 take away 845 tells us the interior angle is 135 degrees. And it's a regular polygon, it's a regular octagon, so every interior angle is the same. They're all 135 degrees. A regular triangle is an equilateral triangle, and each angle in an equilateral triangle is 60 degrees. So we can work out the interior angle of polygon P by doing 360, take away 60, take away 135. So do this on the calculator. So 360, take away 60, take away 135, and that's 165 degrees. So the interior angle of P is 165 degrees. That means the exterior angle is 180. Take away 165, which is 15 degrees. And all exterior angles have to add up to 360. So how many 15s make 360? 360 divided by 15, and that's 24. So it's got 24 sides. Question 29. Adam is measuring the heights in centimeters of his tomato plants. Estimate the mean height. So we're going to estimate the mean. So we've got 7 plants in between 140 and 150. So the estimate, the best guess we can say, is we're going to call them all 145, all the midpoint. So we're going to do 145 times 7, which is 1015. We've got 10 in between 150 and 160. We use the midpoint, so we're going to say that those 10 are all 155 tall. So 155 times 10. The midpoint of 160 and 170 is 165. So we're going to say we've got 15 lots, 15 plants, 165 centimeters tall. So we're going to multiply them, and that's 2,475 in total. The midpoint of 170 and 180 is 175. And we've got 19 of those plants. So 19 plants, 175 centimeters tall. So that's 3,325 in total. And the last midpoint is 190. And we've got 9 of them. So that's 1,710. So I've multiplied them all across, and then we're going to add them down. So let's add the frequency as well. So 7 plus 10 plus 15 plus 19 plus 9. So we've got 60 plants in total. And the total height is 1015 plus 1550 plus 2475 plus 3325 plus 1710. So the total height is 10,075 centimeters. So for a mean, we add them all up and divide by how many? So 10,075 over 60, and that's 167.916 recurring centimeters. And I'll just write that to one decimal place, 167.9. Question 30. So we've got a triangle here, a right angle triangle, and we haven't been given any lengths, but we've been told the length of AC is 40% of the length of BC. So if B to C was 10, A to C would be 40% of 10. So 40% of 10, 40% times 10 is 4. So they don't have to be 4 and 10. They could be 40 and 100. But as long as this one, A to C, is 40% of B to C, then that will make this angle the same. So A to C is 40% of the length of BC. They can take any numbers as long as AC is 40% of BC. And we're going to work out the size of angle ABC, give your answer to one decimal place. So it's a SOHCAHTOA question. So the opposite the angle, that's the 4. The hypotenuse is the longest side, and in between the right angle and the angle is called adjacent. So we've got SOH, CUT and TOA. And we've got A in the question and O in the question. H isn't in the question. So the ones with H we can cross out. So it's TOA. And TOA means we can either use a triangle, which you have tan theta, tan with the angle O and A, or use the formula tan with the angle equals O divided by A. Doesn't matter which one of these you use, as long as you work out the answer. So tan theta equals O over A. So tan with the angle is called X, equals 4, which is O, over 10, which is A. To get tan away from X, we do shift tan. So tan, shift tan, 4/10. So type it in the calculator, and we should get out 21.8 degrees to one decimal place. Question 31. Factorize. So put in brackets. So it's double brackets. And we're looking for what multiplies to make 24 and adds to give us a minus 11. So what multiplies to make 24? 1 times 24, 2 times 12, 3 times 8, or 4 times 6. How can we make a minus 11 out of these? It has to be the 3 and the 8. And to get a minus 11, it's minus 3 and minus 8. So if we expanded this back out, we should get x squared minus 11x plus 24.